Hello again. Welcome back, or if it's your first video of the day, welcome to the 2025-2026 annual catalog and May online exclusive launch party. I might be able to say that without really thinking about it by the end of the day, but it's probably not. So if you're just joining and you don't know me, my name is Michelle Salcho. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been with Stampin' Up! For 9 years, almost 9 years, and I live in Middle Tennessee. I am just north of Nashville. I had some heavy storms come through here last night, I'm going to get really punchy by the end of the day because I didn't get enough sleep. But that's uh, that's just all part of it. Everybody's okay. I haven't even been on social media enough to know. I'm sure there was some damage. I know there was in Kentucky, not far from here. So hopefully everyone is okay. Tornadoes are a fact of life, but they are really pretty scary. So anyway, this is part 3. We are halfway through the catalog. I rearranged and took breaks a little differently in the last video. Right, is this part 3? This is the 1 o'clock live. Yes, this is the third. After they start to get a blur. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, we went a little farther in the last video than I thought we would because it seemed like some things went together. And I feel like in the last half of the catalog, maybe we're getting to some of the stuff that we think of as less sexy because the sweets are out of the way and the sweets are all pretty and shiny and they have all that stuff that goes together. And now we get to maybe maybe it's just less. I don't think so. Well, I think we got some really cool, exciting things going on, and I'm glad you're here with me. I'll go ahead and switch the camera down and we will get started. Switch cameras is what I'm trying to say. Switch to the down camera. I said down, downward facing camera. Anyway, picking back up on page 76 with the two-tone cardstock. You might recognize this image. This is the background for my graphics today. My friend Cindy picked that out, and it's just a beautiful representation of spring. And anyway, yeah, she did a great job. I love that. That's really pretty. Stampin' Up! Gives us a selection, gives demonstrators a selection of the images from the catalog to use in our marketing material, and that was the one that she picked and shared with me. So Cindy and I kind of back and forth today. She's in a different time zone, so I follow her by an hour, which means she's going to finish an hour earlier than I do. But that's okay. It works out really well. Collaborate on a good bit of this stuff, and it makes for a really good day for us to go back and forth and share between videos too. So anyway, two-tone cardstock. I shared with you that we now have all the colors available in two-tone cardstock now. In addition, we have the white willow cardstock. White willow is a color that close to my heart had. Actually, they didn't call it white willow there. It had a different name, but when we Stampin' Up! Got it and included it, we changed the name to white willow, and it is a bit different than basic white, and I'm looking frantically for examples and I don't see any close at hand, so I might circle back to that. This white is a little brighter white than basic white, so give it a try. It's available in 12 by 12 sheets at the moment. It was called White Daisy in the close to my heart world. So two-tone cardstock was something that close to my heart carried, and we have been able to add to our selections. So I'm just going to show you a couple of scraps I have from my retreat from a few weeks ago. So this is Lost Lagoon, and you can see that I've got a dark side and a light side. The darker side is the true color, and then this is just a little less saturated color. What you get with this is because it's not dyed all the way through, it has a white core, right? So That's a really fun addition to your torn edges, whether you use that in scrapbooking or card making. It is pretty fun to work with. That white core is also fun when you are working with um, embossed images. This is a card from last fall that I made with the Cajun Craze two-tone cardstock. And I embossed it. I think this is called Changing Leaves. And you can see the white core came through with the embossed, and it was enhanced by using a little sanding block. This is from Amazon, and truly you just sand. It does create quite a bit of dust, but that will bring out that white in your image. I think it's a beautiful effect. So that is some of what you'll see with two-tone cardstock. It is fun for card making and scrapbooking both. I don't have all the colors. What I have been purchasing are just the coordinating colors like you saw with the scrapbooking products. I've just been purchasing the ones that have the coordinating colors in each. Now, I am going to go back for just a moment to flip flaps. This is page 74 because I went out and pulled mine up. So this is an example of a 3x3 flip flap. And so it's a pocket, right? It's a pocket for a photo or a journaling box. And this is an adhesive sheet. Okay, so adhesive strip, not sheet, so that you can adhere it down, and then it just flips up to allow you to use it. If you've got this on your page is in a memory protector, then you're going to just slit that with a craft tool, and we've got one of those coming up as well. But we've got 3x3, 3x4, and 4x6 sizes, and you'll notice that the 3x4 and the 4x6 have some portrait orientation and some landscape orientation. So you have all the options with that. Okay, moving on. We're moving into bundles, and here you see some examples of things we've done, layering that we've done with the two-tone cardstock. Here we've used two-tone cardstock in this scrapbook page. With this beautiful code that's coming up. That was a fun set, the returning favorite of something that I can't think of the name of right now. But and here is a link if you'd like to look at some more ways to use two-tone cardstock. You can check it out there. The cut and emboss machines, right? So two different sizes. I love the mini. I pull it out. If what I'm working with will fit in the mini, I grab it first because I can grab it from right here. It's just that close. And it's lightweight enough that I can do that with my left arm, which still doesn't have enough strength in it after my my frozen shoulder last fall. The plates for the mini, you do need to get used to them, right? For your mini, because it's shorter, smaller, doesn't have as much room to absorb the pressure, what we've been told is to make an E with our plates, right? So this middle one is down farther. So here's the top of the E, here's the middle, shorter, and then these two can match. And what that does when it feeds into your machine, it squeezes and then allows the middle to feed. So you've got a piece of cardstock, and then your die, and then another piece, and then you just shift them so that they go like this and feed through your machine. There are some embossing folders that also feed through the mini. I think the mini is great. Not everything is going to work with the mini, so you'll need the larger one as well at some point. But if you just want to get used to die cutting and you're working with things that'll primarily fit with the mini, then give the mini a try before you invest in the larger one. There are replacement plates, so when you start getting really beat up and scratched, you can replace the plate, start with a fresh new set. Now, moving into bundles. This Notes and Totes bundle, let me zoom in a bit. If you have any questions about the cut and emboss machines, how to use it, um, how to, make sure you're going to get the most out of it, um, whatever, please reach out and we can do a Zoom call and, work on that together, or just whatever works. If you're close by and you can come by, then just come by and we'll play. The Notes and Totes bundle is another bundle that was presented at On Stage. Actually, Rebecca Santos from Clarksville, Tennessee, presented that in Raleigh for us. She did an amazing job. This is a bundle I have not purchased yet, and even though it has all of these little pieces, I'm going to purchase it. I love the idea of creating little bags to put some um, little treats. It might be a Ghirardelli square. You can bet that almost any die cut that Stampin' Up! Offers like this, it creates a treat, is going to fit a Ghirardelli square. But it could also, you could tuck in, like here they've got, tuck in a tea bag or a little powder drink mix, a gift card, all kinds of things. And you could be that that could be the tag, that could be the front of your card. So many things, right? You can, I don't even know where, I mean, it's just so much fun. This die is the one that creates the bag itself, and it is scored so that when you put it together, whether you're making, two pieces, right, to create a standalone bag, or you're making this on the front of your card, you have some dimension to it so that you could actually slide something inside. There's a die that will cut out like a fence or a plank floor. Lots of possibilities there. Different handles. This is a purse scarf. Rebecca was quite entertaining in her discussion of a purse scarf. But you could make this a little spa bag, right? A beach bag, some sunscreen, and a starfish, and a little shell. There's a tiny tag, some sunglasses, just so much detail. And typically, this would be fussy for me, but yeah, this is high on my list to purchase. Now, the cone flower celebrations I had to get. And let me pull it out. So here is the stamp set. These are not even, this is 80%, right? This big flower is a big flower. Look at how big. I need hold on. How do I not have anything dark to put behind this? No, that won't do it. Oh, duh. You see how big that flower is? So it's a really great size. Super greetings. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. Celebrating you. Happy belated birthday. Okay, yeah, could use that every day. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. That's how I like to think of it anyway. So beautiful cone flower, this gorgeous butterfly, and the dies you can see are going to cut out the detail, right? This detail stamp. They're also going to cut out kind of a filler, if you will, in double, so it folds in half. So your card or your tag could be the shape of this flower. You've got the solid and the detail leaves, the center of your flower, and then some little decorative border, and then the stem for your flower. So this is gorgeous. And show you the dies so you can see. I mean, I love the size. When you have something, working with something big, I always feel like it takes up, it's less room than I have to come up with a creative greeting. Sad to say. So this is the butterfly. This is that big fold over flower image, the leaves, this border. Now, I can't wait to play with that more. And I can see that in cards as well as scrapbooks with that big flower. I just want to show you how they've done the tone on tone here for this card layer with that border die. I think that's very cool. Then on the next page, we have Silly Safari. So super cute with little safari animals, and the new 1 7/8 circle punch. So this is currently, I don't believe this is available right now. It is stuck somewhere in trying to make it to our warehouse. So we don't have it just yet, but you've got these curved greetings. So lots of fun for, card making for kids. And I love that, they didn't, I mean, this is lightly colored, but these images, you don't have to color if you don't want to. You can use stamp and just use them the way they are. But look at this fun little guy with the zebra on a yellow circle, and then these leaves that they fussy cut around it. And the background is on one of my favorite circle embossing folders back here. Okay. Oh my gosh, now I gotta take a drink. Now, hold on to your hat because this is very different. At least I think this is very different. The Extraordinary Flora bundle, okay, is a stamp set and die. This is a single stamp set with some smaller greetings, and then coordinating washi tape. And what you'll notice about the washi tape is that, one section might be more pinks while the next section is more purples. So you get a variety of colors in here, and it lets you do some real, add some soft images to your cards. You can peel off a section of the washi. It's about 3 1/4 inches wide, 3 inches wide, I'm not exactly sure. 3 or 3 1/4 inches wide. This will go through the mini easily, and then adhere it to white cardstock or to an acetate sheet. I've seen some friends that are doing using waxed paper for a lot of embossing. So you could do waxed paper. If you still have some vellum, you could do this with vellum, and it cuts out. Then when you run it through with the die, you have this really soft image that you can then use in your crafting. The die will cut out all the individual pieces, and so it's just very different. It is not something that I have purchased yet, and I honestly got to think about it. It is not at the top of my list, but it is very cool, and perfectly coordinated here with the stamp set, the die, and stamp set, the die, and then the washi tape. So you could stamp and color and then cut them out, not use the washi tape. But honestly, I think it's the washi tape that makes the whole thing just come together. So now, what about this? Remember, I told you, I should have made note of the page. Where was it? Oh, some torn edges here, guys. So that's two-tone cardstock. Oh, I'm sorry. Two-tone tearing there as well. There. Oh, I don't want to take you through a walk through the whole catalog again, but do you remember what I'm talking about? I don't know. Anyway, okay, this bundle, now this is an investment, but these are massive letters and banners, and I have them. So Um, the bundle, right? The bundle is $125 to get the two sets. You could buy one or the other. The letters are going to be $99 and the banners are $40. Save 10% by purchasing them as a bundle. This is how big. Okay, guys, look. Compared to the, I guess I'll back up a bit. It is nearly 11 inches in its little connection here, right? So these letters are, just look at the K, 2¼ inches tall. And like the N is 1.5 inches. The M is, gosh, 1 and 7, not quite 1 and 7/8, I can't do my sixteenths, 15, 14, 13 sixteenths. But you have, so you have two full pages here of these dies. You get these kind of a specialty die there. You've got an ampersand. You've got a dash and a dot. You've got a greater than, less than, two more dots, two more little circles. You get a tilde. We're going to go with that. Then some, then this letter and this letter as well. So very excited about these. They showed these on stage, and they did some very creative things with that. Looking at this page, and look how they've cut out the letters and are showing some things, behind it. They've made a stencil from it. This is a shaker card or shaker box top, it looks like, right? So with the letter, the initial, some more, visit our blog to find more reasons to craft. So that's the alphabet. Look at the banner that was created here. And let's take a look at the banner dies. Holy moly, right? There are 20 dies here. Oh, heavens, 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 heavens. The widest one is going to cut at 5 and 3/8, right? And then I bet my little 6-inch ruler isn't even long enough to, no. So that longest one is about 7 inches tall. Possibilities are endless for card making, banner making. I'm so excited to have these. They've been so clever here in using the positive and the negative images. So think about that. If you like to do these kinds of things with tags, these are too large, pretty much like love is too wide for a single card front, straight out. You'll need to kind of make them overlap a little bit. You can see how they've done the for you, and they've crowded that up a bit. So give you an idea of the size of them. Love them. This stamp set, so this is called the Right Words. This section is meaningful messages, and so the Right Words, different fonts, a lot of greetings. I would say this is a red rubber stamp set. This is one that you want to put in your collection as well, because you've got everything from happy birthday, thinking of you, you're so kind, thanks so much for thinking of me. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. I miss you already. I wish I had the right words for a time like this, but just know how much I love and care about you. So these are beautiful sentiments, beautiful fonts. So this is called the Right Words. It's a $26 set. Then we have a couple of these line art, I guess is what I would call them, um, with children and adults that you would typically stamp and color. These are not my style, although I can't rule it out because I love this little tea party set. I can see that, you could do. I could certainly do this for the grandchildren if I wanted. It's just this type of coloring is not it's not my favorite. I don't really know. This just doesn't appeal to me as much as some of the other things in the catalog, but I do, I do. I love this little tea party. I mean, she's even wearing a crown, a little tiara. Uh, the little animals playground. Yeah, absolutely. I could see that this is something that I could use. I just it's not at the top of my list. Although I could easily walk over to some of my favorite stamp sets and you could argue that they are the same style. So logic doesn't always apply to what's first in the list. Now, these building block stamps, these two stamps here, at first glance, they look like one large background stamp, but they're not. This is 4 red rubber stamps. This is 4 red rubber stamps. Um, and they work together to create a background like this or like this. Um, and then here, look how they've done this. So they've taken this top leaf image here. There's a bottom one, a wreath for the center, and then taken out the most wonderful time of the year, put that in a circle and popped it over. That's stunning. That is just beautiful. Here's where they've put the whole wreath together, did a little bit of layering. Um, I definitely will get the stripes and dots. I like being able to create backgrounds like that, and I like dots. And I kind of like this. The next set are these reversible stamps called Feathered Fun. And what that means is these are cling stamps, and you stamp your solid image on the flat side of the stamp, wash it, turn it over, clean it, wash it, clean it, turn it over, and then stamp your detail, or the other way around. And so it's got these beautiful birds. This is one I probably would not purchase, but I've seen some beautiful things made with it. And I should never say that because, excuse me, that's a certain way. It's your way to, prove a liar out of yourself. Along these lines was a stamp set that was a prize patrol at On Stage in Raleigh, and it's the one that I won. So when you're at one of these events, you get your name tag typically has some indicator. It might be a color or a number, and then throughout the day there are drawings for these numbers. And when your number is called, you stand up and they bring you out whatever prize that you've earned. And so along these lines was the one that I had won. And I'm glad that I won this because this is probably not one that I would have purchased. So this is kind of pushing me out of my comfort zone to use something a little different. And they've done some really cool things with it. They've made this background with this birthday cake one, the bike kind of going up a hill, and then this is kind of a cool edge that they've done with the dog. Um, so it's very cool. It's like a single line. It's not quite a single line, but um, it's just this really, I mean, this one looks like it is probably a single line. This one has a few lines on it. The bicycle is just one line, the rose. So it's yeah, it's not probably not one that I would have purchased, but because I have it, I can see using it and being a little uncomfortable about it because it's something that makes me uncomfortable. It's out of my comfort zone, right? So it is what it says. Then now this would have been amazing to have 15, 20 years ago. I grew up, actually, I guess longer ago than that. My father was a fisherman. He went during the summer, he went to tournaments all over the Southeast. And sometimes we went with him, and sometimes it was just him by himself. And I would love to make these for him. And that's not to say I can't make it for him now and it have meaning. I just and I guess that's it. It has meaning because it takes us back to that time. Um, the house that I grew up in, we had one of his large bass had been stuffed, and in its mouth he had put the fishing lure. And I always think of it as the lure that he used to catch the fish, but it could have been any fishing lure. And I was standing underneath that one day when someone came in the house and slammed the back door, and the lure fell out and hit me in the head. Now, I'm sure I was very dramatic about it and said that it had, gotten stuck in my head. I'm sure it didn't because I had a ton of hair. But, you know, that kind of takes me back, as it probably does many people, and what beautiful scenes that you could create with this. And this is a $1 million stamp set. This is Kathleen Chapman helped design this stamp set. You can see how they've colored some of this with using some watercolor, some great ideas here. Um, I may have to have that just to make that for my dad while I still have him. Um, and actually, Greg's dad took our older kids fishing. Would be good for him as well because that's a great memory that our kids have of fishing with him. Um, I lost my train of thought. Wonder where it went. Hmm, I really don't know. So maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it won't. This is pretty cool here. This peaceful view is a single background stamp, right? And the card here is one that they've made with just this stamp. So they've applied color with a sponge dauber and maybe pulled it back off with a sponge dauber as well. So that's how they got the depth of it. Um, if you were using a stamp positioning tool like the Stamparatus, then you could even stamp it multiple times to get some greater intensity. But what I want to show you is something that I did not realize right away is that this this is a piece of paper from the beautiful gallery, right? As is this background. But they've stamped the tree and the fence from here onto that paper and then framed it. How beautiful is that? Okay, I would have never ever in 5,000 lifetimes thought of that, but it's beautiful. Um, you just okay, my mind is kind of blown by that. Um, okay, moving on. We are up to returning favorites, and I guess this is going to go a little bit shorter because I'm not going to take you. Well, we'll see. So returning favorites, stamps, and tools. And let me just see if I can cover up the page here. So these are some of the returning favorites. Now, others have probably moved to the online exclusives. And we're going to take a look at a flyer of the products that were introduced straight as online exclusives. And then we can also talk about how stamps and products move from the catalog to the online exclusive store. I don't know what I swallowed, but it is definitely kind of tickling. Um, so you may find that stamps, bundles, they may not be bundles any longer, but stamps they're not in this catalog that were introduced in a prior catalog, but they may still be current and available in the online store. That's really one of the coolest things about the online store is the flexibility. So a stamp set may have sold better than expected in the catalog. So they thought they were going to retire it. Stampin' Up! Had plans to retire it after that catalog run. But then in seeing that it was selling so much stronger, they may move it at the end of the catalog run to the online store so that it's still available. And I just think that's a really cool thing. Before we had the online store, those products just retired, and we may not have been ready for them to retire. That happens, doesn't it? So these are some that when the time the catalog was designed, they knew they were going to bring back. So um, the large thank you. This love and strength is a beautiful set. Grateful blessings, also a beautiful set. Natural botanicals. This is a reversible set. These are all photopolymer. Oh, actually, 3 of these are photopolymer. This Love and Strength is a red rubber or a cling stamp. Then some of the other products that have carried over. So Be My Valentine is a stamp set and punch. And this is the initial. So you saw the Meant to Be scrapbooking workshop, the pages that I had completed. Um, the coordinating bundle with that scrapbooking workshop kit looks a great deal like Be My Valentine. I would consider those to be complementary, if not coordinating products. The designer series paper in the scrapbooking workshop kit looks like it. And guys, I think that it's still available. So I'm going to pull out the scrapbooking brochure, my printed copy, even though it's not a great copy because I was out of ink when I printed this, but this is the Meant to Be bundle that coordinates with the scrapbooking workshop. And you can see how much it looks like this earlier version Meant to Be. These hexagons are so, so fun. Let me show you a little box that I made for my retreat on National Scrapbooking Day. This was a little box, a little gift box that I made, right, from the hexagons in this bundle. So this bundle, let me pull this back over so you can get it if you want it. 167243, $49.50 for this bundle. And I think it is just adorable. This is not in the printed catalog, and I need to check. I told you I would make up some more graphics on some of those older workshop kits that are still available, and I will do so. Yeah, you can't see Tony because you're talking about from my scrapbooking brochure. It's a horrible copy. It's printed and I didn't have enough ink. So no, it's not a good tool. I'll do some graphics like the ones I shared earlier and I'll send those to you because I know you're not on Facebook, but they would be helpful for you to have. How about that? So here are some of these were bundled. Once they retire from their catalog, they are sold separately, sold individually. Um, but favorites from either the annual catalog that just retired, or the January through April catalog that just retired. Um, so the layers of beauty with the dies that layer, not the dies, the stencils that layer the masks. The previous page was hard to see. So this is hard to see. It's hard to see. Please focus on the individual stamps. Okay, yeah, Tony, we can do that. So these are the returning stamps, and I can see that my camera is struggling to focus on that. Come on, camera. It's too light. The camera can't. Okay, hold on. Sometimes when you do that, it helps. That image is so light that it's having a hard time focusing on that. But it's called Love and Strength. And then this is page 99. And then remember the toadstools that were just in the mini catalog. Trusty Tools, that's carrying over from the last year's catalog, as well as Wonderful Thoughts. Great set of sentiments with dies that are designed to cut them out. You're so welcome, Tony. This is super fun, this Lifetime of Love, where this die gives you this little edge as well. Nice, fun little color. I love the circle. Okay, I like circles. I've already said that. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here for this video, and we'll pick up at 3 o'clock. We're over halfway through now, so we'll finish the catalog in the next video at 3 o'clock, and then we'll move on to the online exclusives in the 5 o'clock video. And this document is going to post, and you can print it and refer to it. It has the online products that have been released in that the online exclusives in the online store from January through May. So it's a great reference tool to have, whether you just save it as a file or you print it and just slide it into your catalog so you can refer to it. I know that having that tangible product is sometimes very helpful. Let's see, so we are at the wrapping up the 1 o'clock. So there's going to be a graphic that posts next about the May joining special that is available. And during the month of May, you can choose an extra $66 worth of product. Well, you're going to purchase, you can spend $99 plus tax, no shipping, and choose $165 worth of merchandise. So 106, I don't even know. Watch the graphic. So it's a great, the value is always there, but it's even extra special this month. So that's the joining graphic that is gonna post next. Then there's another door price post. Then I'll be back at 3 o'clock to finish up the catalog. So thanks for spending at least part of your day with me today or catching the replay after the fact. I appreciate you very much, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.